This episode of The Movie Men is brought to you by media sales consultant Tim DeArmond.
Your source for daily traditional and digital marketing insights and advice.
For more information, check out the link posted in the show notes below.
Hello, and welcome to the Museum Men, where we look at life, culture, and history from a fun point of view. Joining me today is Brady and Pete. Welcome, Brady and Pete.
Hi, I'm excited to be here.
Thank you, Nigel. That was a great introduction.
Nigel, that's fun. Hey, and welcome to another episode of
The Movie Men
The
podcast.
Movie Men, not the Museum Men. As exciting and riveting and grab you by the things that should be grabbed, that would be.
Horns?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. Welcome. It's 8 a.m. It's
Yes.
very early.
Not 7.
It's not 7. We were supposed to record at 7, but sometimes when you schedule unprofessionals, you run into time delays and things like that.
I resent that.
Pete, what do we have in the way of housekeeping today?
Housekeeping. Okay, so everyone, if you're listening, like, follow, subscribe on wherever you're listening or wherever you follow us on social media. Important links will be below.
And if you're not listening, please do it anyways.
Just do it anyways. It doesn't take long. Leave us a good review. We have an announcement. We're having another giveaway.
We
had a we had a Halloween
How do I
giveaway.
get some?
Funny you should ask.
Yeah,
Kyle.
you follow us on Patreon for $1 a month.
That's it?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
That's it.
That's like nothing.
Wow.
Yeah.
We didn't even
You could-
he's reading that just like it's written on the page. That's amazing.
Good for you. But yeah, so it's just like our other contest. There are going to be 2 prizes, and this time each prize is worth more than $20, almost $25 a piece. We'll share some pictures on what's all involved in the prizes, but all you have to do is just sign up for our Patreon, and if you're already a Patreon supporter, you're automatically entered into the draw. So with 2 prizes, your odds are pretty good of winning.
Yeah. Yeah, it's exciting. We will do the draw on December 24th, Christmas Eve, so that we are officially the best present that you get, and the first present that you get. Without going into too much detail, I can tell you that Pete has sent me a picture of the prizes, and there's things like nice chocolate, and kettle cooked chips, and maybe a bottle of wine. And so, if you're not currently following us on Patreon, $1 a month
Gets you entered into the
Yeah,
contest.
and I mean, you've already shelled out for a Disney Plus subscription, so really, what is this is just the next. In addition to the chance to win some amazing stuff, you also get access to our bonus show, which is an incredible once-a-week show where we just go a little bit deeper into the meaning of life. So that's something you don't want to miss, or maybe you do, but which is why supporting us and not listening to the bonus show is also an option.
We have one more piece of housekeeping, Brady. What do we need to do?
We have more than one, but hey, it's the first of the month. Actually, the first of the month, meaning that we owe a big shout out to all of the people who are following us on Patreon at a tier 3 or higher. So, Daphne, come on down.
Daphne.
You're the next contestant on our biggest fan.
Shout out.
Yeah. It's amazing.
So, thanks again, Daphne.
Thank you for continuing. Unless you've canceled. So I haven't looked in the last couple of days. So, Daphne, if you've canceled and you're no longer supporting us, then disregard what we've just said. But if you're still following us, then thank you so much. You're our favorite. Yeah. Another piece of housekeeping: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. All of those links are posted down below. And the best way to stay up to date on what's happening with the Movie Men, including being able to vote on our movie votes when we put one of those up. We've started in the last couple of weeks. We've uploaded some somewhat controversial polls, of which we will talk more in next week's Christmas episode. But yeah, so it's just a great way to engage. We're constantly posting things, asking for your involvement, and so that's kind of fun. The one last thing that I can think of is the Christmas season is nearing, and the Christmas season is obviously all about material things and presents. And
some might argue,
and some might be wrong. It's about shopping, ladies and gentlemen.
Some might be happy.
Yeah, and if you have an issue with shopping, and that issue is that you don't shop enough, then what you really need to do right now is head over to the link posted down in our show notes titled merch. We now have a merchandise store launched with 28 different products. Everything from t-shirts to hoodies to mugs to it's tattoos.
Like temporary wash-on tattoos.
No, that's not true. That'd be wicked, though.
That would be actually cool. Yeah.
Pete's gonna look into that today. Anyways, so as previously mentioned, sort of involuntarily, we have a guest today.
Yeah, we do.
I'm not gonna say
Who is it?
I'm not gonna say we're not alone in the universe because
Is it Steve?
sorry.
Is Steve here?
I'm not sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show for the second time ever since his incredible starstruck debut in A New Hope. One of our one of our more popular episodes. So take that for with a grain of salt. Carl Eastman.
Oh, it's me. Ha!
Yes.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, how's
Hey.
it going?
Podcast universe likes me, apparently.
It's
That's
apparently
odd and kind of creepy.
either that
Get
or
out of my house.
your mom doesn't have a lot to do other than listen to that episode on repeat.
Yeah.
on repeat. Yeah.
Well, it's still not my wife, Emily, so.
Of all the she still doesn't listen. What's funny is and maybe I don't know, maybe I'm outing someone hereby. Anyways, after we recorded that episode where you said, my wife doesn't really listen to your show, she gave it a try, she doesn't like it, or whatever, she doesn't like podcasts in general. Carl's wife Facebooked me and said, I'm sorry about what Carl said about me on your show. I feel bad. And I was like, no, I'm not.
She didn't watch the show. I told her as soon as I got home.
Yeah,
So
no.
I said, hey, I gave you a shout out. It kind of came off not the way I was hoping because of what I said, and I told her exactly what happened. But
Yeah.
she's an awesome woman, and she forgave me shortly after. And leading up to this episode,
That sounds like you're
she's
digging yourself out of a trench.
actually. So leading up to this episode, she said, "Don't shout me out again, please." And then the next day, she goes, "You know what? Take back what I said. If you don't say something about me,
It'll seem weird.
I'll feel really bad. I like that you said something about me, even if it fell apart. Didn't come out the way you wanted it to.
So Emily,
she's awesome.
Emily, if you're not listening, but
She's not listening.
but
She's not.
But you're great. Thank you for the cake last night. It was delicious. So Star Wars. I mean, so
Revenge of the Sith.
yeah, we've been reviewing some Star Wars films.
Do it now.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Do it. Roll it again.
What?
What was that part?
We've been. It's from the. That's that's D23 Star Wars fandom. That's not the movies. That's a level that you're not worthy of, apparently.
Apparently.
We've been. There's a movie coming up in less than a month. 20 days from the day of release of this episode. Star Wars Episode 9 is in the theaters, which is kind of mind blowing. And so we've been reviewing all of the Skywalker saga, the episodic Star Wars films leading up to its release. And we've been doing it in order of release. And we are now on episode 3.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our sixth Star Wars episode.
That math doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. That's Lucas math.
That's Lucas math.
That's Lucas theory. Yeah. So Revenge of the Sith. Let me preface this.
Okay.
I have, and we'll talk about this more in the bonus episode. I have been watching them with my girlfriend for the very first time in my life in chronological order.
Oh,
So you started with episode 1?
You started with episode 1, 2, 3, Solo, Rogue One. Even though we're not revealing those, or even though we're not reviewing those ones, just kind of was like, Well, what happened was, so we went from episode 3 into episode 4, and about 15 minutes into episode 4, we decided, like, man, it'd be really, like, because we're doing this in this linear story fashion, really what we should be watching right now is Rogue One, because it leads right into this one. And then all of a sudden we're like, well, actually, really, if you want to get technical, we should be watching Solo. And so then we watched Solo, and then we watched Rogue One, and then went back and watched A New Hope, and it's been like this really bizarrely...
Solo takes place after episode 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I
We
thought
watched
you
it,
said
yeah.
you should have watched it first and then...
No, before episode 4.
My bad.
Yeah. And so anyways, that's been really, it's been interesting. We'll talk more about that we'll talk more about the right way and the wrong way to watch Star Wars in the bonus show. So stay tuned for that.
Buckle up.
I have a lengthy list. Normally I don't really make a list. I have notes on my phone to impress an emperor.
I also came very prepared to defend Chewbacca. I mean, talk about Star Wars.
Yeah, I feel like when should we?
When are we going to clear the air on that? When should we?
Let's save it for the bonus episode, because even
we'll-
though Chewbacca makes an appearance, it's still
No,
It's still more.
I feel like I want to have this discussion on, I think, the normal episode.
Okay.
But-
Why?
Well,
Why do you want to subject?
so more
people
than
to
3
your
people
anger?
hear it. So more than pretty much.
I'm down.
All right.
Let's throw down.
All right. Good.
We'll deal with it at the end. We'll deal with Revenge of the Sith first.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
You must deal with the Sith before you deal with the Wookiees.
One does appear a more imminent threat, I guess. So yeah, I've got too many things here to talk about right off the bat.
Sure.
So I'm just gonna put one thing out there. Well, 2 things, because one's just kind of a funny thing, and then the other I think could be a discussion.
Sure.
The first thing that I noticed and wrote down, like I'm just typing things out on my phone as I watch the movie, and
as one does,
which drives me nuts, because normally, like a movie, especially a movie like Star Wars, deserves my full attention. Especially Revenge of the Sith, which is such a good movie. Spoiler alert. The elevator scene.
That's where you're going to start?
That's where I'm going to start.
That's pretty deep into the movie.
When Anakin at the beginning of the movie, when Anakin and Obi-Wan are...
It's still like 5 or 10 minutes in. There's the whole scene
the buzz droids.
droids.
Yeah.
Starfighters.
Which is cool. Like, that's an epic fight.
Yeah. Obi-Wan not liking flying again. And
Yeah. This is why I blast. This is why I hate flying. But no, so they're in the... This is just stuck out to me. They're in the elevator. Right?
Okay.
And it comes to a grinding halt. And Obi-Wan looks at Anakin and says, "Did you press the button?" And Anakin says, "No, did you?" And I'm just picturing, like, in that moment, the only appropriate thing for Obi-Wan Kenobi to say is, "Yes, Anakin, I pressed the button, and then I forgot. So I asked you." Like, is it not implied, if there's 2 of us in the elevator and I'm asking you if you did something, that implies, hey, it wasn't me. Like, what the hell is that? That's the most force-sensitive being in the universe, my ass.
I think it's got more to... Because he knows, obviously, that Anakin didn't do it. and this kind of
Right.
this
It's more rhetorical.
yeah, it's this whole movie we get to see. Well, even in the other ones, Obi-Wan has got this kind of lighthearted goofiness to him,
True.
where he's a little playful in almost everything he does because that's his character. So it's more of a
Hello there.
Yeah. Well, hello.
The jesting that him, and it kind of shows that friendship that the two of them have, where they're in a horrible situation, but they still find some fun.
Yes, Anakin, I did press the button from a certain point of view.
Yeah.
No, but like I've just like the whole thing. I'm just watching it, and I'm like the whole thing in general is like, did you press the button? And it's
Yeah.
Master, the button is in front of you. Did you see me reach over and press the button?
Yeah. Well, it's like, even later on, they get caught in that force field, and they're like, "We're smarter than this. How did this happen?
How did this happen? We're
It's
smarter
like
than this."
they know that crap happens. He's just goofing off, right?
Which is interesting because I also wonder, like, another thing I read into that scene is they've got Palpatine with them. And so I think that's also a commentary on the mind games that he's, like, the interference that he's running with their,
Force powers,
because we see
to
that.
sense the force and not get caught.
And not get the ability to sense the force and not get caught, the ability to sense the force and realize that, 4 or 5 years earlier, a friggin' clone army had been built and they had no idea. The ability to sense the fact that they are literally walking alongside the Sith Lord, and they can't detect that, right? And which is because every other time, like in your ability, a Jedi's ability to sense negative energy around another being is huge, right? They use that all the time.
But it just goes to show how powerful Sidious was and how much planning and prep he put into not only mask his presence and but diminish the ability of the Jedi to use their powers. Not just a Jedi, but the Jedi.
And I'm interested to see, because there's that famous line where they're at the opera, just speaking to his powers here, where he's like, when he's talking about Darth Plagueis, where he's like, he could save others from death, but not himself. And I'm curious how this is going to play into episode 9 in a few weeks, if he is actually able to save himself from death, and if he is in episode 9. I think that would be fascinating.
In Legends canon, he cloned himself several times. When he died in the episode 6, it enacted a sort of a plan B plan that one of his clones was activated, and then when that clone died, another one was activated, and so it just kind of until they destroyed but that's Legends.
Yeah, that's Legends. It doesn't count anymore.
So
but
it will be you're saying, it will be interesting to see how they tie Palpatine in.
So sorry, your question, Pete, was you're curious to see if who's in episode 9?
Palpatine.
He's definitely in episode 9, in the flesh.
Yeah. So I guess I was just commenting on, like, we're talking about his power, and it'll be interesting to see, like, obviously his power is that he's able to overcome death. Yeah. Unlike Darth Plagueis.
And I mean, depending on, like, Darth Maul's is alive. And not only was he thrown down an equally large shaft, but he was cut in two just seconds before it happening. So
and Luke fell down a shaft. And
Luke fell down.
So falling down a shaft is not a death sentence in Star Wars.
No.
In fact, it's a recipe for a better story.
Yes.
Apparently.
But when you go down a shaft and there's like an explosion, that is a little damage.
But it's not like a fiery, like it's an explosion of a nature to which we don't have a whole lot of context for.
Yeah,
that's
fair.
Which has led to, like, people's ability to survive things in Star Wars has led to all kinds of theories. Like the theories that, which Samuel L. Jackson is a big proponent of, that Mace Windu is totally still alive.
Yeah.
Which I'd love.
Right? Why wouldn't he be? Yeah. So he got his hand cut off. Yeah. We know you can survive that. He got force electrocuted. But I mean, Luke survived a lot. Luke survived a lot more Force lightning than Windu got there. And yes, he gets
for
shoved
sure.
out a window, but Jedi, like, okay, so as he's falling, as he's approaching the ground, he just force pushes against the ground to slow himself down a little bit.
You don't. Not even that. You can just look back to Episode 2 and Anakin just casually hopping out of the speeder at the beginning of the
exactly.
movie.
Yep.
Right, and he hit that speeder pretty freaking hard, and he's all right.
Yeah. Well,
Which you could argue
Jedi
is-
don't have ribs.
Yeah. Jedi are able to sustain themselves and do all kinds of crazy stuff that is implied in the movies or not even shown in the movies.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to mention, I didn't think the elevator thing was going to turn into a discussion, but the other thing I wanted to mention is I feel like in the prequels, in each episode, they have increasingly shown us more and more how big of a badass R2-D2 is, because like in the what do you mean? Yeah, no, what do you mean? In episode episode 1, we see him like cruising along the outside of that ship, fixing it, and that's so cool. In the second one, we see him we see the introduction of, wow, he's got like jet thrusters, and he's like, wow. In this one, the fact that R2-D2 fully takes down 2 super battle droids with the whole oil slick and then the flame thing is like, that's such a great shot of him, just like, giving him his hero moment.
Right. I mean, it's a little set up. Like, if those droids are following protocol, they would just shoot the crap out of R2 and he wouldn't have gotten within like oil shooting range, but it is.
Are you
cool.
assuming their protocol?
Yeah, why do you hate Star Wars?
In all
I
seriously,
have
though,
my
that
reasons.
they're protocol, like they're not protocol droids, but I know what you're saying. They have programming, but like
Sorry, they're following their organizational policy.
But they're some like the droids. Some droids are told to capture, right? Like they're kill on sight is not a mandate for droids. It all depends on what their masters are telling them to do.
Yeah,
it's
set your-
not ingrained
I
in their
think
program.
we're
to
getting
just
lost
kill.
in semantics
You
here.
need to
Yeah,
set your
but-
blaster to stun.
I just think you're reading too much into what a droid is supposed to do in terms of being a battle droid. Right?
Man,
The-
this is going to actually set up well for our next episode on motivations of droids.
Yes. Yeah. The 12-part series. So we
Watching Space Odyssey, are you?
yeah. So art. Yeah. I don't know. I just think R2's got such a great, and I will say a medal that Star Wars holds over any other film of all the different sound design clips, of all the different sounds that have been produced specifically for film, right? Whether it's just anything, whether it's the sound of a lightsaber turning on or some other non-Star Wars, whether it's the batarang ricocheting off of something, R2-D2's scream. Like when he's freaking out, when he's like sliding along the floor or something, he's like, that to me is the greatest engineered sound in cinematic history.
That's a
It is
fun
the
sound.
best, like just audible.
When he comes flying through that door.
Yeah.
The droids, you don't know the droids are behind him yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Anyways.
he's in a rush.
So that's my intro.
Cool.
You've got a lot of notes there, Carl.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I went back. Half of these notes are from episode 1 and 2 because I decided to go back and watch them.
Again.
Yeah, but just kind of more cliff notes, just in case I know you guys did it already, but I want to have
No.
some notes in case we go back and touch on
Up to speed.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm caught up. I'm right there with you guys.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, Pete? What do you want to? You got anything?
Yeah, I mean,
Got any more Star Wars hating things to say?
well,
You know
actually,
he does.
the funny thing is, this has been my favorite episode historically, but upon this most recent viewing, I think episode 2 Clones has squeaked out just a little bit higher than Revenge of the Sith.
Really?
Are you ill? Like what?
I'm not,
Yeah, because it's
Yeah,
for the
I'm-
prequels. This is definitely my favorite and still stands.
and historically, and I'm not saying it's not, I'm just historically, this was my favorite, and I think Attack of the Clones is either equal or maybe a slight bit ahead.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
So
it's good.
Are we gonna go through the movie from beginning to end, or are you gonna just kind of punch holes wherever you want here right now?
I mean,
Oh, I don't have. For the record, I'm not punching holes. Like I enjoy this movie. This is, if not my favorite, one of my my second favorite of the prequels.
Yeah, Pete.
Just for the record.
Would you like to crush my childhood chronologically, or did you have a different approach? You want to sort of chicken peck
just
your way
saying.
through my happiness? Like what's? I mean, my
Okay.
notes are chronological because I wrote them as I was.
So are mine. So maybe
Same.
we should just go through
Yeah.
chronologically.
Okay. I don't.
Can
know
I
how-
start? This is okay. I will start with a flaw,
Okay.
but it's not a storyline. Like, it's just a little tidbit.
All right.
Why do Jedi need lightsabers to cut handcuffs off? Like, it's kind of this. No, listen.
It's a
Hear
good
me out.
question.
This is the same flaw as Harry Potter needing glasses. Use a spell to correct your eyes. With the Jedi, use the Force to remove the handcuffs. Like this, like even in Attack of the Clones, when they were at the gladiator arena on Geonosis, like Obi-Wan and Anakin couldn't cut their hands off till they had a lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can move yeah. Anyway,
I would say it's there's probably some complicated canon answer that I don't know.
Someone will have answered that. Someone will have
Yeah.
given a.
It's
you know,
it's probably something to do with the type of handcuffs, like the handcuffs
Wow.
are
The
designed
the
in
kind
a way
of
that
metal
it's too
or-
complicated to just
yeah.
wave your hand like you do at a door when you're going to grocery
yeah,
shopping.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Or like when you're lifting an X-wing fighter, like you can move like a 20-ton piece of equipment, but not little
I would-
handcuffs.
I'm gonna guess that I'm gonna say that this is a really safe assumption that it's because just waving your hand at a complicated locking mechanism and getting it to open is too difficult. Like it would take way too much. So I think it's like the same reason that Jedi don't use more force powers against other Jedi in the middle of a duel, is because it takes a lot more concentration and stuff to do that.
Because we don't really see that till till Yoda and Dooku face each other.
Yeah, and
like it's
like,
only
they
like the
put
most
their
powerful
lightsabers
of the
away
most powerful
to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, fair enough.
Did you
All
now have you done your due diligence? Did you try to look up an answer to this, or did you just go, "Ooh, that's ammunition"?
No, when I'm watching these movies, these
Little plot holes.
when I watch a movie, canon shouldn't bail out a movie's flaws. So, saying that there's an answer online is just kind of like a cheap cop out.
Well, okay, but I would say I get what you're saying, and I sort of agree. But I would also say that maybe like movies like I could go through Lord of the Rings and I could punch out the same flaws.
Fair.
But then the answer is okay, but because this is a massive, expansive universe with all kinds of lore, there is actually an answer to that. There is actually and I mean the same goes for everything, right? Like take any historical, take War and Peace, right? Is War and Peace? War and Peace is factual, right? Yeah. If you were to read, I've never read War and Peace. If you were to read War and Peace, I'm sure there's like, there's gaps in there. There's things that go, wait a second, but why did that happen? And you go, well, there is actually supporting text. Like, we can back this up with other things to explain why that happened. Same thing, anything, the Bible.
I think
The greatest sold book of all time. You read through the Bible and you go,
That's got some loopholes.
Yeah, I don't
Some
understand.
plot
Like
holes.
what? That seems weird. But then you go, well, we have years and years of like supporting text and research and all this stuff,
Context.
which
Proper
which adds
context.
context and helps us better understand. Right. So I would say, like, if you sit down, if you were to sit down and watch the new Men in Black movie and go, wait a second, that's a
Right.
plot hole. That doesn't make any sense. Then yeah, it's like, okay, well, this movie just flat out has plot holes. But in something like Star Wars,
There's more suspension of disbelief.
there's more suspension of disbelief. There's a grander universe that's explaining away a lot of that shit. And I also feel like ultimately, as far as plot hole sins go, why could they not take their own handcuffs off is pretty minor. Like,
yeah,
right? Like,
and
it's
I
it's not
think
like...
consistency is important as
And
well. Like other time in the entire Star Wars series, I think do we see a Jedi remove their own handcuffs using the Force.
Right, Luke on Tatooine being taken to the Sarlacc pit. He's got cuffs on, which he doesn't remove.
Right.
Yeah. And
No, this isn't a
if
major
there is
plot hole.
Yeah. If
This
there is a
isn't the
moment
reason
where
that I
somebody
don't
does,
like
then
it.
it's more of a he's really powerful to be able to do that kind of thing.
Yeah. I don't think
Kinda
people
sets up
hate the
the
prequels
power
because of
meter.
handcuffs.
No.
Someone out there does. Someone's gonna be like,
His
someone's like,
name
well,
is Pete.
yeah. Someone's like, man, I've been discriminated against. I'm not listening to this terrible show anymore.
All right, moving on from handcuffs. That's a lot of talk about
That's
handcuffs.
a lot of talk about handcuffs.
Again, kind of like Brady's point, I didn't intend for it to be like a 5-minute debate.
Right. But we're talking about Star Wars, so we can get deep in all the minor things.
So-
That's one of the great things about it.
So General Grievous's bodyguards have. This is what's cool is this is the first time in Star Wars that we see another weapon which can go hand in hand with a lightsaber.
Yes. And as a kid, that was amazing.
Vibro staffs.
Well, amazing and kind of terrifying because you're
True.
like, whoa,
Yeah.
wait a second. Everything I know about a lightsaber is now been brought into question. Like,
Right.
it's not the be all and end all weapon.
There is stuff out there that can stop it.
Yeah, so that was a cool little fun side tidbit. If you
And
watch
even those
the-
droids, like even when
you
you
go ahead.
decapitate them, they continue to
They
fight.
kept going.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Which is the thing about a droid, right? Is that you're, no, interesting little. If you watch the bonus features of this movie, it's interesting that those droids were one of the original potential concept designs for General Grievous himself.
Interesting.
So, that's just that's a fun little tidbit.
Cool.
I have a question, but I feel like it's a big question.
Sure.
Do you think, are you prepared for this?
I hope so.
No, I'm not. I'm on the edge of my seat, and I'm really going to fall off, I think.
Do you think, because we don't ever, until the end fight on Mustafar, nobody's flat out looked at Anakin and said, "You are the chosen one." Do you think he knows?
Yo, yeah. What do you mean, does he know?
But based on what?
Based
yeah.
on the fact that everybody said it in the first episode.
To
To
him?
him? To him?
Not
Not to him, to each other. Like,
Right.
the Jedi...
But never once to
Listen to
Anakin.
listen to what Brady's asking.
Does Anakin know that he
Yeah.
is the chosen one?
Of course.
Exactly.
He spent his life growing up in the temple, right? So he's going to
just
be
like every
reading...
other
He's
Jedi.
going to know about it.
No, but it was
Jedi,
at closed. It was at closed council meetings where they always
Yeah.
said he was the chosen one. It wasn't like on the PA system.
No,
Yeah, and my understanding of the prophecy is that like this is sacred ancient Jedi text. My understanding of
Right.
the prophecy is that
not,
only the masters on the
not,
council
though.
have actually read
like-
the prophecy.
canon it's not, but which we don't get in the movies. But what we get in the movies is this the sense from Anakin that he should be more.
He
Throughout
talks
the-
about
throughout
I'm more
episode
powerful
2
than
and
this.
Episode 3, he's got this. He has an inflated sense of who he should be and what he should be.
But that's not.
And that
but there's a
com-
difference
that
between
comes
that
from
because
him
every human being has a sense of I could be doing more with my life, or I am more powerful than this, or I'm better than what I'm doing at this point. He's not saying I am the chosen one. I am supreme. Like, I should be supreme. I think what we see in those previous episodes is more just like inner kind of just human kind of reflection.
I kind of agree. I kind of agree,
I don't see it that way.
I think it for two reasons. One is, yeah. Otherwise, I feel like in Attack of the Clones, when he's in his son's future tinkering shop, and he's having a mini meltdown, and he's talking about like, I'm more powerful than this. I'm stronger than this. Whatever else. I feel like that would have been the perfect, if he knew that he's the chosen one in that moment. That's what you say. You go,
Exactly.
I'm the freaking chosen one. I am the one that they're all depending on me. They're at my mercy. They need me.
But from a writing standpoint, why do you have to blatantly say that? It's like,
Oh, come off it. It's the prequels. You want to talk about screenplay?
Well played,
I'm serious. Like, it's not the best written stuff, but George Lucas never wrote anything blatantly explaining stuff except for midichlorians.
And most of A New Hope. A New Hope is pretty
that's setting the stage for a lot of stuff, though. But from a writing standpoint, sometimes it's better to show it than for somebody to say it.
I have to fundamentally believe that Yoda would take the stance of
Nobody tell him.
it is too dangerous for
Yes.
him to
Yeah.
know
Yes.
too much about your own future. First of all,
Yep.
we've seen that.
Yes.
And but just too much like that. I feel like Yoda would have this whole philosophy about the negative effect that knowing that you're the chosen one will have on your ability to be a Jedi.
I think because he knows, that's why he's got this inflated sense of self.
Possibly, yeah. I don't know.
Maybe.
It's interesting. It's
Like,
it's something else to look
it's
up.
Why
It's an
he's-
interesting
he
question.
He feels so conflicted about a lot of things around the Jedi Order holding him back. Because why did the Jedi not want to train him? Because they thought he was too old and it would be too dangerous. And
Yoda
so-
sensed
so-
much. They sensed much
Darkness,
fear, and
yeah.
much. They're like,
Yeah, they have
yes, he's
reasons.
the chosen one, or it seems like he's the chosen one. But something's off.
I think, like, when I watch the movies and I see it from, okay, he knows, and all this anger and towards the Jedi holding him back is because they're afraid of him the power he has because he's the chosen one. Because they're not really sure what, like, it was in this episode, like, misread the
prophecy maybe.
prophecy could have been.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, they're not really sure what the prophecy. It's a prophecy. It's convoluted to begin with.
Which it turns out it wasn't. But it was just another great moment of like Yoda. Even at this point, Sidious's mind games has got Yoda questioning himself, questioning everything. Yoda's the one going like, I don't know, maybe we screwed up. Like I don't even know anymore. Like I'm so
I
lost
don't know what
and
to believe
confused.
anymore.
Yeah, no, for sure. Do you have any questions on your page there, Carl, or any things that like?
I just have some really cool, more like I've made comments about some more kind of deep lore. So things like about how Grievous fought Jedi and why he ran, and why he coughs and stuff. Like this stuff that is, some of it's implied in the movies without being said, and some of it is happens in books or other material like TV shows and things.
Right, like the Clone Wars.
So like the reason that Grievous coughs all the time is because when he was capturing the Chancellor and being pursued by the Jedi on Coruscant, Mace Windu was chasing him and crushed his inner chassis, which caused some of his only remaining internal organs to be damaged. So that's why he's like, and the reason he ran is because, like his fighting style, the reason he's so capable at killing Jedi is because he puts them off balance and he puts them in a place of fear, which diminishes their ability to use the Force when fighting and gives him an advantage. And yeah, so that's a lot of my notes.
Well, he's a really cool character, and the fact,
he's very
like
cool.
that moment, this is the first moment in Star Wars we see a non-Force user using lightsabers
And kicking ass.
and the fact that he's got 4 sabers, like that whole that moment, and then he's like spinning them and walking towards Obi-Wan, and you're like, okay.
What?
And Obi-Wan just goes for it. He just like sticks his saber into the middle, and like you know.
And one of my notes is the reason Obi-Wan does so well against a 4 lightsaber robot essentially that is spinning them at beyond visible speeds is because in Star Wars there's 7 lightsaber forms that Jedi and Sith use, and one of those forms is a purely defensive form.
Yes.
And by episode 3, Obi-Wan is considered by the Jedi Council the master of this form. Nobody has ever used it better.
Yeah.
And it's a purely defensive form where you wait for an opening.
Yeah.
And you kind of manipulate your opponent to make
which they show you throughout his fight with Anakin too.
Yeah,
his
that's
fight
why
with
he's always
Anakin.
backtracking.
Yeah, his fight with Anakin at the end, is a very defensive fight on Obi-Wan's side.
And he's not being pushed back because he's not capable of standing against him. It's just the way his lightsaber form. And
also in that fight, Obi-Wan is emotionally struggling with.
He's not wanting to hurt Anakin as well until the very end.
Yeah. Well, even then he doesn't want. He never wants to.
He doesn't. He leaves him for dead, but he doesn't kill him outright.
Speaking of General Grievous, so he's like he was a living organism at some point, and he's been given a much higher suit and higher tech suit and iron lung than Vader's given. Because Vader's intentionally given a low-tech piece of crap to keep him in pain. I think we talked about that before.
Keep him in check.
Yeah, but do you think that so he's a war general?
Sure.
With the Separatists and the Trade Federation, and do you think though, like if you're General Grievous and you're having your remaining working bits, your brain and your whatever else, your face, put into this armor, this suit, do you think there's a moment where you say to the doctors, I feel like my internal organs are a little too easily accessible? Like the fact that Obi-Wan is able to rip open the like chest plate and just start shooting. And also, like, not only that, but I'm very impressed. General Grievous can take several blaster hits to his heart before he actually collapses. Like he has to shoot him like four. No, I mean, I think he would have.
The chassis completely erupts in flames, and his eyes also erupt in flames.
I think he would have. After one blaster shot, I think he would have succumbed to those injuries. Eventually. Regardless, but the fact that I mean, if you shoot me and my heart bursts into flames, I can't speak from experience, but I'm guessing I go down. Like I'm thinking that's
Are you trying to craft a theory where he's still alive for some reason?
No, I think he's definitely dead. I think he's definitely and rightfully so dead.
He'll be in episode 9.
Yes. Yeah.
He'll be in the movie. He'll be in the new trilogy.
And the new No, but he's a cool character for sure.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I feel Padme has a very diminished role in this movie, and I guess she has an importance because Anakin is motivated by her, but she has very little screen time. She and most of her screen time, she's just roommating with 3PO, and she goes from this influential.
Yeah, they've got a bit of like a fraternity happening.
Yeah. And she goes from this influential politician and character to just like a side thought on screen.
Yeah. I'd agree. It's unfortunate she doesn't have more screen time, but there's
I
a larger
understand.
story to play.
There's so much,
Yeah.
like
to tell. There's a bigger story that needs to be told.
she's literally. I would say it's a shame that she's not in it more, for sure. But but I don't think I would say, ooh, the story's really lacking because we didn't see this from her, right?
No.
Like, I think we were given the absolute bare essential minimum from Padme that we needed. Because I think it was less about, like, at this point we've spent a whole film explaining the bond between Anakin and Padme. We know how strong that is. And in the last film, yes, there was a bond, but the bond between Anakin and Obi-Wan in Episode 2 is kind of a rocky one. It's kind of like an angsty teenager and rebelling against Daddy.
Yeah.
Whereas in this one, it was in order to really feel the emotions of my favorite scene from any Star Wars movie ever, which we'll talk about. In order to really feel the emotion from the end of this movie, we had to build up and understand the fact that these two have become brothers.
Oh yes.
These two, it's kind of a tough love at times, but they are friends now. It's not mentor and apprentice.
There's more of an equality between them.
Yes, yeah, for sure. So yeah, it's unfortunate, for sure, but yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't flag it as a flaw that she's not in the movie. It's just unfortunate. What I would say is just flawed in the way that it plays out. It's just medically, I don't follow Padme's death at all, and essentially,
she's lost the will to live. Didn't you know
that's
that
from a medical
kills
perspective? From a medical perspective, I don't follow it. But even if you say she's lost her will to live, she still believes in the good in Anakin. Is that not enough to hold on for her to just not completely just cease to live?
Yeah, I do wonder that. Like, I can wrap my head around the lost the will to live thing,
Sure.
because it's got other connections to Star Wars, in the sense that 2 days or less than 48 hours after Carrie Fisher passed away, her mother Debbie Reynolds, who was just in this extreme fit of despair and kept saying, I want to be with Carrie, I want to be with Carrie, died. Just died. Didn't kill herself, died.
Yeah. If Obi-Wan comes back to the ship in one piece and brings you onto it, and Anakin doesn't,
Anakin's not there, you
can make, she's probably making some assumptions about what's happened.
She's saying there's good in him, but I don't think anyone's actually confirmed to her that he's alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
But and so this is kind of what I wonder. I wonder if maybe she does know he's alive. And so my note on Padme is, do you think, again, this is kind of like the do you think Anakin knows he's the chosen one thing.
Right.
I've got deep philosophical questions for this movie.
It's a good question.
Do you think, and if so, to what extent is Padme Force sensitive? Not to the degree that she could be a Jedi, but I think that maybe she's Force sensitive because, and I get this from just one scene when Order 66 first gets executed. There is a scene where he's in the temple, Anakin's in the temple, and he's hurting. Like he's feeling all this pressure and this stress. It's before Mace Windu's killed. It's before he becomes just before, right? Like he's pacing and he's really. And then it cuts to a shot of Padme who's looking out her window towards the temple, and she's got this like pained, troubled look on her face, like very deep contemplative face looking out towards the temple where Anakin is. And I wonder if this is a moment where maybe she doesn't even realize what's happening, but she's kind of like sympathy pain through the Force.
Isn't the temple on fire in that scene?
No, because this is before.
That's a later scene.
This is before just before Order 66.
So I don't think she's Force sensitive. I think that would
agree.
Speak to Anakin's power in the Force and the connection that they have.
Maybe he's projecting it
Yeah, like because they have a connection, and I would say there's probably some form of so Jedi's masters and apprentices form what they call force bonds in lore, where they're just so connected and they've spent so much time with each other that they can sense each other easily and tell what each other's thinking or going to do more easily just because through the force, because very naturally because of the time they spend together and the connection they have. I would say that even though Padme's not force sensitive, Anakin's power in the force conveys some of that towards her without her ability to use the force.
Yeah.
I'd probably say no, but I think it's an interesting thought.
Yeah, la-di-da.
He doesn't have a reason. He
yeah.
just disagrees for
Yeah.
the sake of disagreeing.
Oh, if you want. So here's my reason. I think like in every movie under the sun, when two different characters are like facing some type of peril, like it's just a standard cut of showing them both mirroring each other, and I think it has nothing to do with the force in this case.
So you think it's a campy shot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's fair. Pete,
Yeah,
I will
fair
jump. I will jump on your bandwagon. I did find some issues. I did find
Sure.
some weak points, some flaws, some things about the movie that I would, that I wish weren't there. One is I am always every time I watch this movie, I'm always annoyed by the peacock lizard creature that Obi-Wan rides on.
Really? I think
Yeah,
the thing's
I'm
awesome.
just like,
I think it's
don't
awesome
know.
too.
okay, well, that's fine. I don't know. It's like, yeah, I don't know. To me, it's silly. Another issue that I found, and I'm like, so this is just straight up a plot hole. This is a continuity issue. So we'll set the scene. Obi-Wan and Yoda are at the temple. They've just decoded the code to tell the Jedi, stay away, don't come back to the temple.
Right.
Simultaneously, while this is happening, or just before this is happening, Palpatine has gone before the Senate and has proposed a galactic empire, to which people have accepted with thunderous applause, which is, it's so interesting to me that, like, yeah, Palpatine's story and his whole, like, everything he does is so
The way he just manipulates
incredible in this.
everybody in the galaxy.
Yeah, but the fact that, like, when you were first originally watching episode 4, 5, and 6, there's no way that you would think to yourself, oh, well, this is an empire that was elected. Like, people voted for this. This is what people wanted. No, but my issue is, so Yoda and Obi-Wan are figuring out, okay, what do we do next, right? And Yoda kind of says, I'll go after Palpatine. You must be the one to face Anakin, even though Obi-Wan's like, no, I can't. Send me to, the issue here is that Obi-Wan says, send me to fight the Emperor. I will go,
right.
And
he gives sound reason.
right. But as I'm watching this, I'm like, Obi-Wan Obi-Wan knows him as Palpatine. He knows him as the Sith, now as the Sith Lord. Obi-Wan and Yoda have not been informed about Obi-Wan would not know to call him the Emperor. Right? So the fact that he refers to him as the Emperor in this moment is a plot hole, because, like, literally an hour or two earlier, this Empire thing has happened, and they haven't been anywhere near. Like, they're already kind of in exile within Coruscant. Like,
maybe they were listening to the local
Talk radio.
4.7 on the way over
CP24.
to.
That's right.
Yeah, no,
The
I don't
Jedi
know,
Temple.
but yeah, that was just. I was like, you wouldn't know that.
Yeah.
You wouldn't. And then my other thing that I think doesn't make any sense, and maybe I'm the only one that picks up on this, but every time I watch the scene where Anakin turns to the dark side, where he cuts off the hand of Mace Windu and he swears his allegiance to Palpatine, what is up with Sidious's voice? Like, it's like it's being run through, like it is
The
his
changes in the
it
tone.
is his decrepit kind of voice, but it's like it's got like a weird reverby echo, like
Oh, yeah.
thing. Like it's like
Yeah.
it's been run through some kind of filter, like he's talking through
Yeah.
a weird PA system.
I
And
picked that
don't-
up, and I
it's-
thought it was a little weird too.
it's a weird creative decision, and I don't know why they did it.
So I noticed that watching it this time, and I thought the same thing. And my like sort of in defense of the movie, because I'm gonna defend this movie a lot more than I would episode 1 or 2, because I feel this one's the best of the three. So much so that I think it very nicely connects with the original trilogy.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, if you didn't have the
Carl,
1 and 2,
I'm in
this one
I'm in
would feel
agreement
like
with you on that,
part-
Carl. I don't know where this
whatever,
is coming from. I
quadrilogy.
am in agreement of Revenge of the Sith. I'm
Yeah, like there's
I'm not
I
hating
have very few issues with Revenge of this. Anyway,
Yeah.
to the Palpatine thing, I think like my first reasoning in defense of, oh, that's weird. My thought was, oh, well, he's just like been sort of washed with probably a lot of dark force energy with the Mace Windu getting thrown out, and Anakin's in like huge turmoil and anger and pain right now. There's probably like a lot of dark force energy.
So you think the
swirling
Force
around.
is doing
So I
something
think
weird
it's
to his
I
voice?
think the dark side of the Force is causing that sort of echoing and because he's like bathing in it. You can kind of sense that
He's
from the
soaking it in.
acting.
Oh, he's like
He's
like
soaking
it in.
in. He's
Yeah.
like his head is back and his arms are kind of
Yeah.
out, like he's
drinking the
it's
Kool-Aid.
raining down on him.
Yeah.
He's-
because
yeah.
the voice does, but like because by the time he reaches the Senate and by the time he's doing, it has gone away.
Yeah. Well, even by the end of the scene,
Oh,
it kind
yeah.
of tones down. I think,
I
if I remember right.
you have made me 100% okay with a scene that has always bothered me.
Yeah.
Like just like that. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, no, that works.
It's just the way he seems to be drinking in all the anger and pain.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, there's a lot of Dark Force crap happening
Yeah.
here, and he's eating it up because he does the same thing in Episode 6
Right.
when the Skywalkers are together and
Right.
and he's
But his
like,
voice doesn't
"Oh,
change there.
yeah."
But he
No,
does
But
kind
I
of.
don't think there's as much anguish happening. Like this is a pretty big moment.
He's a little-
calling down Order 66.
He's a
Jedi
little
are
limp by the
Jedi
time.
are
Yeah.
dying. Anakin's turning. There's a lot of hatred going on.
See,
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that whole voice changing concept, but if I was Anakin, what I would for sure have a problem with is in that same scene, basically Sidious is like, well, to be honest, I don't really know how to save others from death, but I'm sure we could figure it out together. At that point, I would be like, F this. I'm rage quitting this garbage, and I'm like, I don't know. I think
Yeah, but
Anakin
I mean-
is a little naive.
But it's still.
here.
But going along with this is still his best. He's acting on emotion,
I
and this
know.
is still his only chance.
Like, I guess it's
It's an
easy.
inkling.
We're all experts when it comes to hindsight, and so we're all experts when we have the knowledge of all the 6 films. So I guess that's a fair point, but it's easy for me to just be like, "Come on, Anakin! Like, that's BS."
I really find the way they tell and show how Padme is going to die through these Force visions, and it's Anakin's own doing that's going to cause it.
Oh yeah,
But he never senses that part of the vision.
it's a
Yeah.
it's a tragic conclusion, and it's a tragic horror at the end of the movie that you realize that the fact is he made the dreams a reality.
yeah.
yeah.
It seems as though
Which-
in your anger,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
what? No, that's not possible. She was alive. I felt it.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think
and Carl,
I thought was really interesting. The way she died was through the very first Vader Force choke.
oh yeah, isn't that
I thought that was
special?
really interesting.
That is special. Carl, do you
That is
think, like, I don't, did Sidious plant those dreams in Anakin's mind to kind of push things along? Like, did he plant those dreams as a catalyst or what?
Yeah, some of the lore says that he does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got that much power in the dark side of the Force that he can supersede. So he would have Force premonitions as well as to the future.
Sure.
Right? And because of his so he's got a bit of a Force bond going on with Anakin, but Anakin's not aware of it because he doesn't know he's Force sensitive.
Right.
Right? He doesn't know he's the Dark Lord. Okay. But throughout the Clone Wars, which is a 10-year war up to this point, pretty much.
Yeah.
Maybe, was that long? 10 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, about 10 years, I think.
Yeah.
He's built that bond with with Palpatine, and it is a Force bond. So Palpatine has the ability through the Force bond that he's built to be suggestive towards and put thoughts and ideas in Anakin without him realizing it, because Anakin's not aware of the bond.
And so by extension, you weren't on our Attack of the Clones episode. So do you think, or is there known fact that was there some involvement from Dooku or Sidious with what happened to Anakin's mom and kind of pushing that along, or was that just coincidence?
I think that's coincidence. I think he
didn't want his. I think the thoughts and the dreams were probably from, or at least amplified by Sidious, but he didn't cause her to be captured by
the Tusken
Raiders.
Yeah, because I read something, and it wasn't actual canon. It was just online banter about how maybe they arranged to have his mother kidnapped and paid the Sand People to do it. Sorry, the Tusken Raiders to do it.
No, I don't think there's any credit to that.
Okay, yeah,
in lore.
Fair enough.
So let's talk about the opera scene, because we're talking about Anakin. We're talking about a bond between him and Palpatine.
Right.
I'd
go to that opera. Floaty Bubbles. I'm there.
Are we all?
Heck yeah.
He knew how to manipulate the midichlorians in order to create life. Now, are we all in agreement that this scene is basically announcing that Plagueis, who was Darth Sidious's master, that Plagueis had a doing in the Force conception of Anakin?
Are you talking about just the movies or lore itself?
Whatever.
Because lore, he did.
No, I know, but I mean, in this scene, like at this point, that's what everyone gleams from it, right? Because some people still debate it. Some people who just stick with the movies go, well, no, I think that's just kind of
He's pretty blatant in saying creating life.
Yeah, Plagueis conceived. I am kind of your brother.
Yeah. in a weird
my master,
stepbrother,
my master,
step-force
my
brother.
master is your daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I do think we're all experts when we've seen the 6 movies in conclusion, and it can be grounded. But when Sidious starts talking about Sith lore and Sith knowledge, like, how are fire alarms and warning signs and like red flags not coming up to Anakin and be like, is what I'm doing, is what I'm partaking in, like, is this guy a Sith Lord, and where will this lead me? Like, what? I'm just
because throughout this, because Sidious leads this conversation talking about the ability to cheat death, so instantly all Anakin is thinking
blinded.
about right now is, like, he's only half hearing what Sidious is saying. He's thinking about save Padme.
And that's fair.
I wonder if there's a way to save, because his only response to this entire story is it possible to learn this like, he's basically blocked everything else out, and all he's hearing is there's a way to save Padme, and so and that's when he says, is there a way to learn this? And then Sidious has this great line where he just looks at him and he goes, not from a Jedi.
So I'm in agreement with you like 90%, but I'm still arguing that there would be some things that are like the epitome of evil that if someone mentioned, like, and this isn't my own thought, this is on YouTube. It's like someone, if you were sitting at a concert and someone just started talking about Mein Kampf and they're like, yeah, I've been reading Mein Kampf. Even if you're thinking about, gee, will this help save my life? You'd be like, pardon? What? Why
That's
are
a
you?
little weird.
Why are you reading that? That's you should
Right.
what? Like
Right.
it's a Sith Lord.
This would be one scene that I'm also that is harder for me to defend, and
Yeah.
I have to go out of my way and
I don't know.
in my mind and dig deeper into lore. Like your argument helps the scene along,
Oh, I
but
would
it
say
doesn't
there's.
save
I
the
would say,
scene
but I would say there's
if
more
you're trying
argument to
if
it.
you're trying
than-
to tear it down.
I would say there's more argument to it than just that, though. Like I would say, I mean, Palpatine's an old guy.
Yeah.
He's been around.
He's been around, and
yeah.
so from Anakin's perspective, and Anakin realizes in comparison, I'm a young guy, and so really,
He's been around, seen some shit.
he's been around, he's seen some stuff, and Anakin, like Palpatine, doesn't present this as, let me tell you the nitty gritty details that most people don't know. He presents this. He says, "Have you ever heard of the legend of?"
Yeah.
Right. And so it's basically says, it's no different than me telling a tale about Moby Dick. No, but it's like it'd be no different than me saying, like, has anyone ever told you about the Nazis? Do you know, like, how much do you know about the Nazis?
Jeez,
that's not
dark.
me. Well,
I was going to talk about a white whale.
No,
You
I mean,
go
but
talking about Nazis.
well, we're comparing it.
But
to
Brady,
Sith Wars.
that
So-
comparison
so,
falls
right.
apart right away when you're like, well, but you have to
Why?
understand everything from the Nazis' point of view. You can't just like.
No.
I see Brady.
No, hang on.
I see your point because that's how the scene works for me as well. But like I said, it's kind of more of a deep lore thing because the Sith have been around for a long time. There's got to be information out there to the general public from historical documents and stuff like that. There has to be, like you said, and Palpatine said, legends about them that people can get their hands on.
So Pete,
that's deep lore stuff. I would consider that kind of deep lore.
In that case,
not
I'm picking up what you're laying down.
Pete, let me defend the whole Nazi thing here for a second. I don't think the argument falls apart because the Jedi, the Sith. Something that makes the Sith so terrifying and dangerous is the Sith don't believe themselves to be evil, right? Like any great villain thinks that they are
Good.
the answer,
Yeah.
right? Well, not good's so weird, but that basically they're not in the wrong. And that, so to see it from their point of view,
from a certain point of view.
So then you take that and you compare that to the Nazis, who, because of the brainwashing and and the smooth words of Hitler, many of them were just fighting for their truth.
Oh,
I would say the Sith and the Nazis are a very strong connection, and I would say it's the same. Like if I said to you, let me tell you about the Nazis, that's not you going, oh son of a bitch, are you a Nazi?
but
like,
so Brady, I'm in agreement.
it's
I'm
public
in
record.
agreement with what you're saying. With what I'm saying is where it falls apart is if you and I were sitting watching the next Star Wars movie, and before the credits rolled out, you were telling me how the Nazis are misunderstood. Then I would say, that sounds peculiar. But
I'm not saying that the Sith are misunderstood.
No, but that's what Sidious is doing. Like he's saying, like, no, if you look at it from a certain point of view, they're not evil. It's just that the Jedi are dogmatic and they're looking from a narrow point of view. You need to, like the Sith, look at it from understand the Force.
no,
That scene doesn't imply that, though.
Right, but I would also argue, and this is, I mean, we're
getting lost in the weeds.
We need to get off of this.
Down the rabbit hole.
But I would say that, but again, I would say that the Nazis did evil things. I don't think the majority of the individual Nazi soldiers, I don't think were inherently evil.
Yeah, and it's not implied here that Palpatine is a Sith sympathizer, even though he's the Sith Lord.
No.
There's this story about a Sith Lord who could heal people, and Jedi can't do it. That's essentially what he's saying.
And
it's
he's got the viewpoint of, like, it's not, it'd be one thing if Master Yoda was saying this to you. But Palpatine's not a Jedi.
And
He's not a Sith, but he's.
and Anakin doesn't know he's.
Well, I mean, he is a
user.
Sith, but he's not a. He's not a. You know.
He's not known.
He's not
He's
an
not
advertised Sith, but he's also not a Jedi. So it's you know, you've got someone who, as far as the Force goes, is pretty indifferent, is pretty neutral. And then furthermore, like, you know, throughout the Jedi Council, there is there's widespread knowledge. Like, Mace Windu has got strong knowledge of the dark side and the light side. He studied and has studied both. He just uses it, like, he's just not corrupt in his use of it.
His lightsaber form is Form 7, which is traditionally only used by dark side
Users,
Jedi or
yeah.
Sith. But he's adapted it and turned it into his own lightsaber form, which he called Vapad, where he uses dark side energy, but it doesn't overcome him.
Which is also the reason why his one of the reasons why his lightsaber crystal turned purple, as opposed to, you know, it isn't red, but it's not blue either.
Yeah. Because
right?
in new
canon,
it's
crystals are kind of not living organisms, but they kind of are, like they're their
attuned
own
to the Force user.
And so the reason why all Sith have red sabers is because their hatred and their connection to the dark side has actually corrupted the crystal and caused it to turn red.
It's actually a little funner than that. They've caused the crystal to quote unquote bleed.
Right. Yeah, they're bleeding.
They essentially abused the crystal with Force energy to the point where it cries and dies and turns red.
Well.
Yeah. So that's fun. I'm trying to see. I'm just looking at if there's any other like huge. Vader doesn't. Two great lines of Obi-Wan's. No, sorry. One is Anakin's and one is Obi-Wan's. This is something we missed at the beginning. I love Anakin's line of, like, when Obi-Wan's knocked out after the fight with Dooku, and Palpatine's like, "Come on, let's go. There's no time." And Anakin looks up at Palpatine with this "don't even try me" face and says, his fate will be the same as ours. Mm-hmm. And to me, that line is so good, and it just speaks to the bond between him and Obi-Wan, which isn't protocol. Obi-Wan would say, "Stick to the mission."
Yeah, he would.
Right?
Yeah.
But Anakin goes, "No, I love you."
Yeah.
Which again talks to you like Anakin is less of a logical thinker and more of an emotional thinker.
Yeah. And it in the expanded universe and like the TV shows and stuff, it comes out in the way, so like the Clone Wars deals with a lot of larger battles and strategy and battle planning, and Obi-Wan is a very methodical, kind of more of a planned out Jedi general, where Anakin's like, we don't have a plan, we don't need a plan, let's just fly by the seat of our pants and let the Force guide us.
The other line that I think is really
Actually,
great.
Brady, before you continue, one interesting thing about that line, which I agree that is a very cool moment, but the interesting part about it, and I guess it'll become debatable if Palpatine actually isn't dead, but when he says the fate will be the same.
I'm sorry. I'm so interested in your doubt of the fact that Palpatine is alive in the flesh in this new episode.
I mean, I have to see him. I have to see him to believe it. But
could be a robot.
When Anakin says his fate will be the same as ours, all three of them die on a Death Star. Just on different Death Stars at different times, but they all die on a Death
That's
Star.
interesting.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's fun.
Sorry, continue.
That's a fun. Yeah, I never thought of that. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Huh. I wonder if that's purely coincidental.
I feel like it is.
I don't know. George Lucas
It's hard to say.
George
I don't
Lucas
know.
loved foreshadowing and the interconnectedness of the universe.
Despite episode 1 and 2, he wasn't a horrible screenwriter.
No, and honestly, episode one is a great screenplay. It's just got, Jar Jar Binks in it. Anyways, That's a can of worms to open between you two in a couple of minutes. But no, the other line, and I don't know why I love this line so much. I think it's just so sassy from Obi-Wan. It's like Obi-Wan's sassiest line.
Yeah, he's such a sassy guy.
Is when
Which one?
Was when they're first confronting each other on Mustafar.
Okay.
And Anakin says, "I will bring peace and order to my new empire." And Obi-Wan goes, "Your new empire?" Like it's just, are you that blind? Are you
You've
that
been a Sith for how long, and now you think you're the master?
Yeah, are you that stupid? Like, your new empire? Yeah. Anyways, I love that. I thought that line was so great.
I like is sticking to Obi-Wan's sassiness. My favorite sort of sassy moment, if that's what we're calling them, is when he jumps down in front of Grievous and he's like, "Well, hello there."
Yeah. Hello there.
For sure.
He's literally surrounded by droids and this well-known Jedi killer, and he's just like, "Hey guys, what's up?"
Which pays homage to a line from Alec Guinness in A New Hope, when Alec Guinness first rescues unconscious Luke from the Sand People, and he turns and looks and sees R2, and he says, "Hello there."
Callback.
Hello there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
This is really fun, and it's again, it kind of just speaks to his confidence.
Which is a great moment for Obi-Wan, because Obi-Wan's like, "Holy shit, R2-D2." Like,
but he doesn't remember it.
no, he does.
No.
No. We'll get into that. Oh, he does. He absolutely does.
Okay.
What was I gonna? The music in this movie is amazing.
Oh,
I mean,
it
it's
makes
typical,
Order 66.
It's I didn't realize until watching it this time. I never picked up that during that final fight, there is during the sequence between Yoda and Palpatine, we get Duel of the Fates again.
Yeah,
We absolutely do.
Yeah.
It bleeds in there a bit.
But more amazingly is, like, at the end of this film, when Leia's arrived on Alderaan with the Organas, and Luke is on Tatooine with the Lars family.
Right.
When Leia arrives on Alderaan, we get Leia's theme. And when Luke arrives on Tatooine, we get Luke's theme from the original.
Cool.
And it's just like, oh man, that's Leia's theme. That's so, to me, that's a lot of fun. What I think is so interesting about Palpatine and his takeover is just the sheer intelligence of it. And the fact that, like, Order 66 is so genius because he didn't, like, yes, they hunt down and kill most of the Jedi, but the reason why, like, the hinge, that the thing that his entire plan hinges on is this incredibly swift flip of the switch character assassination of the Jedi. Before killing them. He goes in front of the Senate. Within the character assassination, within a flip of a switch, the entire universe, the entire galaxy goes, "Holy crap, the Jedi are evil."
So this is actually it's actually in the extended universe. It builds into this even more, where
like Star Wars Legends or canon.
Canon,
okay.
canon, and Legends to a degree. Yeah, actually in Legends as well. Probably more in Legends because there's more Legends material than canon material, even at present, because Disney's only had really a few years by comparison to build up their canon since scrapping the original. Anyway, the Jedi before the Clone Wars were seen as
the
peacekeepers.
Yeah.
They were impartial. They negotiated. They didn't fight wars. Wars for the Jedi were something from the past. Since the Sith were gone, they no longer fought wars.
And even when they
had no reason to fight wars.
Even when they had to get a lightsaber out, it was aggressive negotiations.
Yeah. So, in the Clone Wars, we have the Jedi no longer really being peacekeepers. They are Jedi generals and tacticians, and they are fighting a war. They are leading the war. So throughout the Clone Wars in the extended universe, the Jedi are slowly seen less and less from a favorable standpoint because now they're warmongers.
Right.
They are one of the reasons that this war is continuing for so long. Right. So by the time that it gets to the attempted quote unquote assassination of the Chancellor by the Jedi, it's not a far stretch for the galaxy to look at the Jedi and go, that makes sense.
Yeah.
They're pretty power hungry at this point.
And so yeah, that's incredible. And furthermore to the Emperor's just inherent evilness and his genius of this all.
Yeah.
Not only it was watching it this time that I realized not only is everybody in the universe kind of he's playing everyone as far as
everybody.
the fact that he
Even his own
everyone.
apprentices.
Both
right,
sides,
exactly.
yeah.
That even though the
Like,
fact
the
that
look
he's
on Dooku's face when
Yes.
he says kill him.
Right? The fact that he's on,
sorry, what?
But it wasn't until that I realized just how little in the know Vader even is. Like moving forward, and so then I'm thinking, all of a sudden to myself, like even by the time Return of the Jedi comes, I don't think that Vader ever finds out quite the extent and the involvement in everything that Sidious had. The fact that Sidious was behind the Trade Federation and the droids.
Yeah.
And all of these little tiny details, all of the strings that he was pulling, I don't quite think he's got that knowledge.
Yeah. And like he's got a lot of strings out there, and I think a lot of stuff doesn't go as he plans. So like it wasn't his plan for Maul to die. Like Maul was his apprentice.
Yeah.
Maul was supposed to be by his side through the whole thing.
Yeah.
But he's very I think the genius of Palpatine is that he knows the old adage that no plan survives first contact.
Yeah.
And he's able to be fluid with his plans and adapt quickly and easily, which is why he's so good at playing people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Just incredible.
So I don't know if you guys have more. I have only a few more notes.
I'm pretty much
I
good
wanna
as far as
touch
my
on.
notes. So that's
Yeah, me
I think
as well.
one of the really cool things I think is Order 66 itself.
yeah.
It's Order 66.
Add
That
one more
implies
six.
that very quickly implies what are the other orders?
Yeah, that's what I've always wondered.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and there's actually, like, you can find the entire list of orders. There's actually, do you guys want to, I'm cutting into your
Go through all
territory here a
66
bit,
of them?
Pete. How many orders do you guys think? These are contingency orders bred into every clone to know on Camino.
Ooh, with
How
the
many,
exception of 3, because those 3, if you've watched Rebels,
I haven't watched
okay,
Rebels.
there are a couple of clones that like found out about the chip inside of them and like dug the chip out
Yeah.
so that they weren't influenced.
that happened in the Clone Wars TV show as well.
Okay, all right.
But so how many orders, and this is a little quiz, so I'm cutting into your territory, Pete. How many
No
orders
worries.
do you guys think there are?
67.
602.
Okay. You're both far off. Pete's closer with the triple digits.
Wow.
Okay.
Not closer numerically, but closer with the triple digits.
108.
That's even closer.
See,
150.
No, that's, okay, hang on, but that's bogus because if the answer was 101 and I had guessed 99 and Pete had guessed 807, you were like, "Ooh, Pete, you're close."
He
With
still
the
would
three
have been
digits.
closer because there's 150. So there's 150 contingency orders where, like,
So-
it's sort of like when crap hits the fan orders.
So either way, I won the
Well,
prices.
and
right
it makes
Yeah.
sense. We just touched on this, like all these contingencies when plans change, and Palpatine
But
has
this wasn't-
kind of contingency plans in order.
So, but what's funny is who ordered the clones?
In our last episode, it's either Palpatine or Tyrannus. It
So-
could be
Yeah.
So the Sith didn't order the clones. It was actually ordered by the person they said it was, who was a Jedi, who was a friend of Dooku.
But how can that be? Because it says in this movie that like they
Dooku
notice
found out about it.
But no,
Dooku
but
and took over.
Obi-Wan says to Obi-Wan, when talking to Mace Windu and the rest of the council, says, I was under the impression that Master Sifo-Dyas died several years before that.
And this is all canon lore. So this doesn't happen. This happens in books it happens in the Clone Wars. We see it in the Clone Wars TV show too. We meet Sifo-Dyas in the Clone Wars as a Force ghost, I believe, or it's a flashback. I can't remember.
And he confirms, yes, I ordered them.
Sifo-Dyas was the same age as Dooku. They grew up in the temple together. But Sifo-Dyas, one of his strongest Force abilities was premonitions. To the point that he was almost kind of crazy,
right?
Because of all the premonitions he would get, and the elder Jedi kind of didn't take him seriously a lot of the time.
Okay, that's fair.
But he had this strong premonition about the war, and that the Jedi and the galactic, not the Empire,
Trade Federation,
but the galaxy would.
There's a lot of different factions in Star Wars.
They would need these clones would be needed to fight a war. So he ordered them before his death, and being a close friend of Dooku before Dooku's fall, and Dooku was always kind of a gray Jedi like his apprentice.
Kept him savvy to it.
Kept him savvy to it, kind of kept him in the loop because they were tight.
So
and
then
Dooku
when
always
Dooku switches sides, he's aware of this army.
Yeah, so he starts taking control of the production, gives the orders that he these
recruits Jango.
Contingency orders, recruits Jango to be the clone.
Ooh, see, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's the extended lore. But Dooku and Sidious came up with the 150 orders. They buried Order 66 in 150 orders.
Yeah.
Right? Not only did they bury that order in it to kind of cast a cloud on these orders it's not that big of a deal. They're just contingency orders. The Order 65. Guess what Order 65 is? The order right before 66.
What?
Order 65 is the order to turn on the Chancellor because the Chancellor doesn't have the best interest of... is to capture or kill the Chancellor because he's going against the best interests of the Republic.
So who put that in there?
They did.
Yeah.
Sidious put it in as a scapegoat, or not as a red herring.
Yeah.
As a
there's nothing important about these orders.
Right.
They're just contingencies to protect the Republic.
So and I mean that's interesting because then essentially Order 66, like Order 66 in the clones' minds weren't evil. Hey, we're switching now. We're
protecting the Republic.
It was the Jedi have turned on us.
Yeah.
We must kill them.
Yeah. So if the Jedi had known about the orders, which they obviously didn't, they would, instead of going to confront the Chancellor, they would have just said, okay, let's enact Order 65.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then everything will be good.
Execute Order
But they
65.
weren't like, there's 150 orders. What Jedi's general's going to go, I don't need to memorize these. Somebody else more important will do that.
Yeah. That's cool. All right, Pete, hit us with some trivia.
Alrighty. This is an easy one to get out of the way. Who uses the tagline, I've got a bad feeling about this?
Obi-Wan?
When they're flying onto the trade. Oh, I've got a bad feeling about this. It's such a great moment.
It is. Which I don't understand. When they see General Grievous's ship, and then it's like 10 minutes later that they finally arrive at it.
Well, there's the buzz droid situation, and
they don't change directions. Like they're continuing in the same plane the whole time.
It is a pretty straight flight towards that ship.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They kind of make some jukes and jogs around one or two ships, but they're pretty flying. It's their mission to get on that ship, though. So you're going to take the straightest course possible.
Yeah.
Okay. So 1-1 so far. Second question. Appendage lost count. And
Okay,
we're not
hang on.
Yes.
including
Can we
droids.
go back to the last episode real quick?
Oh, here
Oh,
we
yeah,
go.
yeah.
I feel like you screwed up again, and I think
Oh, come on.
you want to defend C-3PO against an amazing Wookiee, but you discounted him again in that episode. Is the head not an appendage? You counted the head as an appendage for,
Yes.
for Django, but you
Django.
don't count it for C-3PO?
He's a
C-3PO's
droid.
head gets knocked off in the... What?
Yeah,
That
he's a
counts?
droid.
Oh,
But
that's-
he's an important character. You never once said droids don't count. You said
Well, I'm
important
saying it right
characters.
now for this question. Droids don't count.
Oh, so for this episode, droids don't count.
Correct.
Well, that screws up my count because I was counting pretty maliciously as I watched this episode.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna...
Now I have to go through the
I'm
entire
gonna,
list.
I'm gonna go with one,
Wait.
two...
Does Grievous count as a droid or a human?
Yeah, see that, which is interesting because
Grievous-
Pete's definitely counted him as he's definitely counted him as counting. But
sure.
For this episode,
it is kind of
Because
hypocritical to the
Grievous
R2D2
has
thing.
mechanical parts, but he was a human and he still has human organs.
Well, he wasn't human, but
Well, okay. Sorry. He has living anatomical organs and was once a living organism.
So we're counting Grievous.
okay. So I'm going with
Correct.
counting them out in my head.
Sure.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yes.
5, 6,
Okay.
7, 8, 9.
Okay.
9 for sure.
Okay.
And
Not counting droids?
not counting droids.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's all I can
9.
come up with. I think I'm gonna go with 9.
Carl, what would your guess be?
5,
Carl's struggling to get 9.
6.
Use your toes.
I don't know where you're getting the 9th one from.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right. Well, you make your incorrect guess of 8.
Yes.
I'll
that-
say 9. Pete will probably say no. It's actually 11 because if you look very closely in the background of scene 73, you'll notice that. But
Hey,
then
scene 73 is pretty key.
it is. But do you know what scene 72 is? No.
Ooh.
I'm just going to go with 8 so
8.
that this doesn't get
Okay.
dragged out.
Is 9 correct?
that it needs.
No, it's 10.
Okay. I will
So-
go through mine.
Well, let me
And
let me
then-
just go through the answer.
Let him go through and we can
What?
just say.
And then
okay,
and you'll just tell me what the 10th one is. Tell me the one I missed.
Well,
Yeah.
you tell me
Why not?
what you missed. So Dooku has 2. Are we in agreement?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Windu
3.
lost an arm. Are
3.
we in agreement?
3.
Oh,
whoa,
yeah,
go
his
back.
head.
Hang on.
That's
Hang
9,
on.
right.
Hang on.
You gotta count his head.
Dooku has 3. Dooku loses both hands and his head.
Yeah.
Oh,
So 11?
So
That's
that
so
brings
11.
my count to 9. I didn't count his head.
Okay.
yeah. So it's actually 11. So sorry, Dooku has 3. Windu
Okay.
has 1 for 4.
Okay.
Grievous
his hand.
has 2 hands lost or whatever. So for 6.
Yeah.
Anakin lost 3 limbs.
3 limbs.
Yeah.
So that's 9. And then Yoda
So what are the-
decapitated 2 stormtroopers at the end of Order 66.
Whoa. They're non-essential characters.
Okay, so
if
hang
you're
on.
counting the
Carl,
2
just
stormtroopers, then you
stop.
have to count a
Carl.
whole bunch of other guys.
Carl.
So we're
I didn't
counting-
say essential characters. I just said non-droids.
Well, okay, but if you're counting those 2,
Sure.
then you have to count the ones that were delimbed and decapitated out front of the Jedi Temple.
How many were
Yes.
actually decapitated?
Oh, and Yoda decapitates at least one of them,
Yeah.
I think. If
Okay.
I remember right.
I don't remember. That we'd have to review because I'm not entirely sure you're right on that. But it's either way, you are both below the answer.
Wow. So, but I mean, I guess when the rules are inconsistent and relatively unclear.
Hey,
Yeah, you keep changing stuff. That's not fair.
changing the rules is the only way to go.
Wow.
Okay.
So okay, but non-droid. So again, we're counting, but we're not counting Geonosians, right? See, so
Yeah, that was a different question though.
So there's,
That was
but
last
there's
movie's
no
question.
way to like. All right.
Hey, if I asked cookie cutter questions, that would be boring because you guys would get them.
That's true. What's your next question?
It's the last one, so it's a tiebreaker. Here we go.
Good.
Over under the number of clone trooper suits that were used in the making of Revenge of the Sith, and I set it at 7.5.
So this is a behind the scenes thing.
Yes.
So what? Sorry, say that again.
Over under 7.
Yep. Clone
trooper uniforms that were used
in Revenge of the Sith.
That were built.
No, that were worn.
Actors wore.
Okay. Were there more than 7 on screen that were actually made and not CG?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna say 1.
Okay.
I'm gonna say more than 7, but I don't know. I'm not gonna guess a number.
See, what's difficult is I think it's a surprisingly low number, but I also understand, like in filmmaking, you don't make 1 of anything.
But he's saying on screen.
No, I know, but I'm
So
but
essentially,
still, something gets scuffed. I'm gonna say under.
So
still gonna say
Brady's
under.
saying under, Carl's saying over.
Yeah.
Yes.
Essentially. Okay. So Brady is correct. So Brady wins the trivia. And I read this in multiple different places, and it seems foreign, but the commonality was that I found every clone trooper in the film is CGI, and not a single clone costume or helmet was featured in the movie.
Really? Not
Okay,
one.
the costumes maybe, but there's definitely like the troopers themselves aren't all CGI, right? Like what about when Commander Cody has his helmet off and he's talking to Obi-Wan and returns his saber?
I know it seems weird, but what I
That suit
read
seems-
was not a single costume or helmet was in the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
That seems odd for that scene, but
it
He
seems
must be in a
odd.
green suit.
he's got it. Well, yeah, he'd have to be in a green suit. All other
Yeah.
troopers make sense
Yeah.
except for that one. But
You think there would
hey,
be like at least a
Yeah,
couple
like-
just to hold? Yeah,
Yeah.
like in that scene where
Like- like
Cody's
that-
holding his helmet.
Even like the march on the temple scene where Darth Vader's marching up the stairs and there's a whole bunch
Right.
of behind him. Like
Yeah.
a scene like that, in my mind, how that would
easier.
normally do is you'd have like the first row or
First
two
row
of
would be-
actual
Right.
people,
And
and
then
then they
everyone
just
else is
copy and
CG.
paste them
Yeah.
CG
Right.
ones
Yeah.
back.
Right.
But
Anyways.
to make them all CG, I guess is cheaper because you don't have to hire as many extras.
Yeah.
Oh.
So what'd you watch this week, Carl?
Oh, okay. So I got a extensive list here because I
Holy
kind of
crap.
just it's been a
Binged.
while since I've been on the show.
No,
and I don't
this
watch
week.
a lot of
this,
movies.
No, this week.
So
like since
Carl,
I haven't watched
pick
in the
one
last 7
movie.
days.
this week.
One
I'm gonna
movie.
give you the entire list
No.
real quick,
Carl,
but a couple notables
All
because
right.
these are really good movies.
All right.
fine.
So I watched Despicable Me 1 and 3. I watched Star Wars 1 through 3.
Oh, nice.
I watched Zombieland 2 in the theaters with my wife a few weeks
Ooh.
ago. That was a fun movie.
Was it good?
It's one of those not as good as the original, but it's
Okay.
not like if I gave Zombieland 1 an 8, this one's like a 7.7.
Fair enough.
So
yeah.
it's just below. I think what keeps it from being on par for
Mm-hmm.
me was there was one moment in the movie near the end that it felt like they were building up to the whole movie, and then the thing they were building up to happened, and I was like, wait a minute, did this happen?
Right.
Like I literally practically missed it. Like I even turned to Emily and I was like, did this happen? And they're like, yeah, they had this conversation. I was like, oh, but they didn't do the thing that they were doing for all these other scenes to build up to it at that moment. So it felt kind of a miss. It felt like a miss for me, but it was still a really good movie.
Cool.
I watched The Sixth Day. I watched Marwen, which was a really good movie. I
That
don't know
looks
if you guys have
interesting.
seen that.
Welcome to Marwen. Yeah.
Welcome to Marwen. Yeah, that's a really fun movie. I watched Solo on a kind of a
good,
recommendation from Brady.
Nice.
I would consider it a really fun heist movie. Even though it has Star Wars elements, it doesn't feel like a Star Wars
No,
moment.
and I was
doesn't
thinking
fit well
I
with
was-
the universe
but
for me.
See, okay, and that's fair. I was thinking about this because I just recently this week I watched Solo as well.
Oh, nice.
And I what I realized is to me, it doesn't feel like a episodic Star Wars. It doesn't feel like a Skywalker saga film, which is fine because it's not.
No.
And I
It's
just
not meant to
realized,
be.
like, what a credit to the universe of Star Wars that you can give me different, like, that really you could give me a straight up spin-off romance film. You could give me a straight up spin-off prison heist film. You could give me a straight up spin-off what are other,
Yeah.
what are
Insert
other types?
blank.
The Mandalorian is kind of like a spaghetti western type, and so and just what a credit to realize that there are stories that are happening inside of this galaxy that aren't Jedi, Star Wars, Stormtrooper, Emperor.
Yeah, and I want to hear those stories. I love, like, if you look at my bookshelf, I've got a ton of extended universe stories. I have a 6-novel storyline that's based around a specific type of clone trooper called clone commandos, who are so cool, and about their, like, the first book takes place in Battle of Geonosis, and the last book takes place during Order 66 and a little bit after. Like, it's so, like, I like those stories.
Yeah.
Solo isn't one of those stories I wanted or needed.
Okay, and that's fair.
So there are two really kind of cool redeeming points of the movie for me. Was I liked the last few scenes. The scene where Han shoots first is super redeeming because it's like, Han always shoots first, and this is why.
Yeah,
Sure.
And the other one was when he wins the Sabacc game.
yes,
I thought that was really good.
yeah.
Because it kind of it nicely sets up why Lando thinks he is upset about it.
And so there are a bunch of people. It's not an unpopular thread on the internet right now. People wanting a sequel to the Solo movie. That would
don't
basically, and that's fine.
That's right.
And that would.
It's not my choice, but
that would basically.
I really
but
don't
you'd
want
still
it and
watch
don't
it.
need it.
You'd still watch it. You watch this one.
I
So,
watched this one just because you said it should be watched, and
well,
I
okay.
don't
So if I
regret
feel like
watching
the
it, but
second one should be watched,
I feel like I didn't need to watch it.
But no, and so basically, and so that one would revolve around going a little bit more into depth to Kira's involvement with Darth Maul as a
Syndicate.
as a portion of
and I don't need
Crimson
that.
Dawn, and it would show us. No, you don't need
like
it.
I think like the Clone Wars, like in terms of Darth Maul's story, the Clone Wars TV show does a better
sure.
job and is a better place for that.
And it would also give us the story around the spice run that he does for Jabba going incredibly south,
Yeah.
right? And why and how that all, so that when we end up in A New Hope, we know exactly. And he says, even I get boarded sometimes.
Yeah.
And you go,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, you do. That's a rough.
Yeah.
We know just how much trouble you're in.
So I watched Solo. Not a fan.
Okay,
It's probably the
that's
worst
fun.
Star Wars movie for me.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
I watched Joker
Okay.
last week.
First time.
Nice.
Yep, we watched it in theaters last week. I listened to your podcast about it before going
nice.
in, so I was.
So which one of us do you side with?
What do you mean? You have to.
Well,
refresh me a little bit.
so I think it's disturbing but incredible, and I will definitely be purchasing it in January when it comes out. Pete doesn't think he'll ever watch it again. He didn't hate it, but he
not.
doesn't think he'll ever watch it again because
Yeah.
it's just too
I would
dark.
I would
and too-
fall somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go out and buy it, but
Right.
I would watch it again.
Yeah.
and it was a good movie, and it definitely. So I haven't watched it twice, but listening to your an in-depth review of it, you kind of feel like you do, and all the plot points are kind of spoiled, right? So going in and watching it, quote unquote, a second time, kind of, it was very much like it had that Book of Eli feel to it.
Right.
Where, like with Book of Eli, you watch the whole movie the very first time and you realize, spoilers,
Yeah.
pause, he's blind,
Yeah.
and you're like,
Whoa.
no, you're full of crap. You're making me feel like an idiot, and that's just a stupid hook.
But
But then you watch it a second time, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's legit.
Yeah.
So the Joker thing, watching Joker,
Don't spoil
kind of
Joker
a
here.
second time, it feels a lot like that. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
So like a lot of the scenes, like when he's in the comedy house doing a stand-up bit and hanging out with this
Yeah.
girl,
Don't
and,
spoil
and some
things
other
here.
stuff like that. You're like, oh yeah, this makes sense. Like
Yeah.
they're not just stringing you
Yeah.
along to throw you
Yeah.
a hook at the end.
Yeah.
No, no.
And then my last movie
Last
I
movie.
watched, and my recommendation is a Netflix movie called I Kill Giants.
I Kill Giants. Okay.
It's a very cool, sort of. It's a very cool story about a girl who's got some trauma and kills giants. It's pretty cool.
Cool.
I really enjoyed it. It felt a little slow at points, but it was a good fun ride. It was a good watch. So, I Kill Giants on Netflix is my recommendation to you if I wanted to do that. So.
Sure. Yeah. Pete, what did you watch?
All right, so I finally watched Bubba Hotep as recommended by Carl.
Yes.
I gave it a 5 out of 10 because I didn't hate it. I just thought I'd like it a bit more. I think it was just
Yeah, but your reviews are weird.
it's no, not at all. I think if it was just about Elvis, like a guy who was Elvis and like his roommate or his friend who thought he was JFK, and there was some type of adventure that they went on, I think it would have been okay. But just it was like a little much when they were then like, and I know that's in the title and it's the whole part of the story, but just the fact that there were like the mummy involved and the curse component, I thought adding the supernatural element into it was just like one too many ingredients, and there was a little too much going on for me. So I didn't hate it. I just thought I'd like it more. But it was a cool movie.
Hang on. Can I ask you a question about your review system?
Please.
Does it not take into account the type of movie you're watching? So for me, sitting down to watch Bubba Hotep, I'm expecting a sci-fi B movie comedy romp. Right? Like
Yep.
I'm sitting down and I know what I'm getting,
Yep.
which makes it more enjoyable because of what it is.
I have gotten the impression doing this show with Pete that his measuring rod, like all films, are kind of held up against, could this win an Oscar? Right? And it's like this kind of like what is the level of
sort of a
sophistication?
Siskel and Ebert rating system.
He seems to associate sophistication and strong story with quality movie.
I won't argue with that, but to answer Carl's question, and I am planning on publicizing this scale, I just haven't had a chance yet. One of my indicators or one of my scoring critiques is, did the movie achieve its intended goal? So if it's a funny movie, was it funny? If it was supposed to be heartwarming, was it heartwarming? If it was a B-grade sci-fi movie, did it achieve this well? So I do take into account what kind of movie it is.
So on that part of your rating system, where did this movie score? Because for me, it would max it out.
Yeah.
It does what it seeks out to accomplish.
It got a 5 out of 10 in that category.
Okay, moving on.
Oh,
What
Yeah,
else
I
did
think
you watch?
Carl, we got to move on here. Brady, I watched your recommendation of Seventh Heaven.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Fascinating. Just it's fascinating to look at how far cinema has come.
Yeah.
Just quality of film, sound, even just sound, and having voices with like the acting as it's going on. Just it's amazing. And if you even look at, and I know this is a favorite movie of yours, because this movie is from 1927. If you look at what happened in the 12 short years between this movie and the Wizard of Oz in 1939,
Oh, right.
just
yeah, sure.
mind blowing. It was an okay movie. I guess just I got a little lost in it partway through, and I was wondering what more needed to be said.
It's long for the film that it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. But it still has some interesting points of just like life, love, everything being interrupted by war. I feel like the feminist society of the world would cringe when watching this movie.
Sure.
But it's just interesting just to look at cinema and how far we've come. As far as older movies, I would recommend, say, like Citizen Kane or Gone with the Wind or Wizard of Oz as old cinema that has held up to like modern day, and we can watch it and still appreciate it. But
As in they don't drag as much.
yeah, but it was still an interesting.
Often when
journey.
I watch older movies, I find they seem to take their time telling the story as
Sometimes.
well.
Yeah, they
Like
can.
you guys have talked about this,
And
I
they
can't
go into
remember
detail.
what movie it is.
Yeah.
But there was another older movie you guys.
Brady watched
the one was
Vertigo,
recommended.
and
Vertigo.
it was like a taxi
Yeah.
ride that took like the 27
Yeah,
streets to get to where they were going.
The worst older movie that I've watched, and it's not really that old in terms of cinema that does that, is the original Max Payne.
Yeah.
Like, it just seems like 75% of that movie
Has to
is just
explain
him
everything to
driving
you.
around.
Yeah.
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 And it's there's like no dialogue, it's just him driving around.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
yeah, they can't allow the viewer to understand, okay, he drove here. It's like, no, we must show you, and then he made a left.
Right.
and not just
And then-
show you, but like,
Yeah.
let's show you all the turns he makes.
What
to
else
get
what
here.
else did you watch, Pete?
The only other thing I've really watched was Contagion.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
No.
So that will be my recommendation to you. It's kind of a quasi recommendation because it was actually
Sounds like a
recommended to
zombie
me
movie.
by a former guest in Matthew McLennan. So I watched it.
Okay.
It was interesting. It has so many actors that I enjoy, so I'm going to recommend it to you.
All right, cool. It sounds like a zombie movie. Is it a
It's like
zombie
an
movie?
apocalyptic movie, but actually, sorry, it's like a disease movie because the world actually
Okay.
doesn't end. But
Okay.
yeah,
All right, cool.
that's all I got. What did you watch, Brady?
All right. There we go. I watched.
He's been waiting for that.
I watched Bubba Hotep.
Nice.
So because Pete's not good at giving past context here, apparently. Bubba Hotep is a film that Carl recommended to us last time he was on the show,
Right.
a couple months ago, and so I would give it a 7 out of 10.
There we go. That's a little better.
Yeah, it's still kind
Screw
of
your system, Pete.
It's still kind of
Ouch.
it's and I think what saved it for me is like it's definitely stupid.
Yeah.
But I went in expecting stupid, and I
Right.
think that's where you and I differed. I think you
Right.
went in expecting, oh God, I didn't see that ending coming. That was so beautiful. And I was like,
Yeah.
no, this is
Yeah.
I knew going in. It's like watching Pee Wee Herman. It's like watching The Jerk.
if
You
you-
go in
yeah.
knowing this is trash.
If you know Bruce Campbell's work
Yeah.
and the B movies he makes, that is it. Like if you watch the Hello, My Name is Bruce that I also told you about.
Yeah.
Like it's the same campy,
Same thing.
rompy, demon fighting nonsense.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. It's fun. Like the Evil Deads are like that as well.
Yeah.
They're probably the pinnacle of that kind of
Oh, for
nonsense.
sure.
But
For sure.
yeah, that is what the movie is. And if you go in expecting that, you should give it more than a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, for sure. I also watched Aladdin 2: Return of Jafar.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Disney Plus at it again.
our Disney Plus, yeah. So our third episode ever was a review of the original Aladdin,
Right.
which was my first exposure to the original Aladdin.
Oh,
so
that's
I
right.
I
I
was
forgot
like,
about that.
yeah. So I was like, okay, well, maybe it's time
heavens.
Maybe
to
the sequel's just as good.
maybe it's time to take this a little bit further. I would, honestly, I'd give it a 6 out of 10. I'd give it higher than a 5 out of 10. I've
never seen it.
Okay, it's again, go in expecting a straight to DVD or a straight to TV
Sure.
sequel.
Yeah.
And then again that diminishes some of the disappointment.
Right.
I watched Rogue One,
Oh, cool.
which is so good.
Yeah.
Like I forget how
it is a
good.
good
Every time I watch it, I love it that much more, and I love the fanfare. I love the score for it. That it starts out and it sounds like the traditional Star Wars fanfare, but then it throws a left hook in there. And then I watched Solo, a Star Wars story.
Nice.
Which I am doubling up on my recommendation, and I am recommending that to you.
To be
after
honest,
having
you sent me a
recommended
screenshot of a movie
Yeah.
you were watching, and I've
'Cause
been
you ha-
hoping
'cause-
that was what you were recommending.
it. Yeah, because you haven't seen it.
No, and I'm actually now
okay.
just because of like the hype of Carl watching it and you like hinting that you
Yeah.
might recommend it, I actually kind of want to watch it. So I've never been more
so,
ready.
Solos.
Yeah.
I hyped it for you because I feel like what I
Trashed it.
said about it isn't
Tore it
hype.
down. So Carl seemed very excited. I was chatting with Carl last night. He seemed very excited about who he was going to give a shout out to.
Oh.
So
Okay. So I'm gonna give a shout out to Jeremy Toman. He's
Nice.
been shouted out before,
Yeah.
but I'm
Fails
gonna
to watch
give a
the
shout
show.
out to him because he doesn't watch the show. So
Or
I'm gonna
listen.
keep with the trend of
Oh, yeah.
shouting out people who don't watch the show.
yeah, let's shame people.
Shame people
Yeah.
into listening. I've got so
Yeah.
here's an idea because the episode's already long. What if we have a rapid round? Carl and I each get 60 seconds to I'll go my thoughts on Jar
Yeah,
Jar.
I mean, at this point, it's almost a 2-hour episode, so there's no, there's.
all right.
Yeah. So do a quick thing. Carl goes first. Pete goes second.
Sure.
I'll kind of give my view on it.
Sure.
And then we will still unpack it a little heavier in the bonus content. So
Actually-
if you like what you hear now,
I can just give my thoughts rapidly, and then I can let Carl respond to them, and then he can give his thoughts. Is that okay?
okay, sure.
Okay.
Sure. Ooh, Pete wants to have the first word. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm
Carl?
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll let Carl kind of collect things. Okay.
Ding.
Yeah, he started this mess, so he
Ding
can.
Yeah.
and fight.
Okay. So I'm just gonna go through a few thoughts. First are focused on Chewie's shortcomings. Okay. Chewie threatens to kill others when losing board games. He's petty. He didn't fix. He didn't fix. And sorry, actually, I should preface this. These are from a YouTube video I watched from Nerdy Show Live, so the credit goes to them. But Chewie didn't fix the hyperdrive. He put C-3PO together improperly, and he was captured in the most obvious snare trap of all time by the Ewoks. Okay. My next point is Jar Jar's bravery in the prequels. Okay. He risks his life returning to his own people because he was banished, and jeopardizes himself even more by bringing an outsider in Qui-Gon Jinn for the betterment of his entire planet of Naboo. My next point is Jar Jar's loyalty. Jar Jar offers his own people. He offers his own people to fight to the death to help Queen Amidala's starving people, while Chewie is reluctant to escape into a trash compactor because it smelled funny. Jar Jar in Episode 1 is on the front lines of the battle, fighting the good fight, while Chewie in A New Hope comes in at the very last minute when everyone else has been slaughtered and taken the front line, when all the risk is gone, and then he fires a couple shots and then he leaves. My final point is more just about Jar Jar and his story and his character himself, and specifically his ascent. Jar Jar starts off as a banished citizen, becomes a war hero, then becomes an important part of the Senate. That in itself is just impressive. And the people that argue that he was an idiot, he ruined the Senate because he was manipulated, the very scene where Jar Jar was manipulated to give emergency powers to Palpatine, there were 2 Jedi in that room, in that conversation. Not just like new guys on the job Jedi. Mace Windu and Master Yoda were there. So I think it's a little unfair to blame Jar Jar when 2 Jedi Masters let this happen. And that's all I have to say.
Okay, your time is allotted, and now Carl Eastman will be allowed to give his rebuttal. Your 60 seconds begins now.
Very professional debate we have here. Okay, so Jar Jar is all the bumbling buffoon people take him for, right? In the middle of a stampede, what is he doing? He's standing still, looking around. What do I do? And he to the point where somebody has to run him over to save him. Why is he even banished from his colony at all? Because he's clumsy. How clumsy do you have to be banished? How much of a buffoon do you have to be banished from your people?
pretty.
He's also
yeah.
he can't keep a straight thought in his head. He's very much like the dog from Up. Ooh, squirrel. Because when they're first leaving the colony in the underwater submarine, he's carrying on a nice conversation, and then he goes, "Ooh, Cooperfish."
Yeah, I guess.
Again with the clumsiness, like he goes to jump off that bridge to help. He's not trying to help with the fight, but he gets hung up. If he's not a Sith Lord, he's a clumsy idiot, right? And when we were having a conversation about this off podcast a little bit, and you were saying like he's mechanically inclined, he's helping fix the pod racer. If you're working in the shop with your son, you're gonna let him tighten a few bolts. That doesn't make him a mechanic, right? Chewbacca is a mechanic. He might not have fixed the hyperdrive, but at the beginning of episode 5, when they're on Hoth, he's on top of the Millennium Falcon fixing it. Han leaves and says, "Just fix it." He leaves Han to fix it. He knows how to fix spaceships.
Right.
He might have baser instincts that take control and cause him to fall for obvious traps, but he is very intelligent and a very capable fighter. To your point about
Chewbacca.
Jar Jar being a brave warrior in the final scene of episode 1, literally everything he does is a danger and a complete fluke, but also a danger to himself and his own people. Everything. I watched like he swings that blue ball around like a hammer throw, and several of his own people have to duck so that they don't get their heads taken off. Everything he does is like it's a miracle he doesn't kill somebody on his own team. And in episode 2, he's practically in my opinion, he's a different character altogether. His gait is different, the way he carries himself. The only thing that makes him the same is the way he talks, but his entire species talks that way. Right? And as far as being fooled by a Sith Lord, that's a valid point, and I don't like I dislike Jar Jar the way most people dislike Jar Jar in episode 1. In episode 2, he is a completely different character in my eyes, and I actually like him. Like, I think he is somewhat of a hero in episode 2.
Cool.
Because he does step up and call for the creation of the clone art. Well, he doesn't call for the creation.
No, but yeah.
Gives supreme powers to the Chancellor. Like, I would in the second one, he is a kind of a more heroic character, but like just the way he acts and carries himself, he's a completely different character in my mind. Like you can say he's had character growth, but it's more than character growth, because you don't be a clumsy idiot that's banished and almost kills your entire.
Your 60 seconds are up long ago, and you can talk about more of that in the bonus episode. And my argument is I think you're both dumb. That's all there is to that.
That's valid.
Anyways, thank you again, Carl, for coming. Thank you for listening to this 2-part episode.
Thanks, Carl.
And thank you again to the sponsor of this episode. Thank you for the sponsor of this episode, Tim DeArmond, Media Sales Consultant. If you want to find his information and LinkedIn page, it is down in the show notes below.
I went to high school with him.
Good
guy.
Nice.
Until next time, I am not Roger.
No.
Rabbit?
Roger.
Roger.
Roger. Yeah. Roger.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.